The Armstrong and Getty Show. I didn't know there was a name for it. Cyberchondria. That's people who go online all the time looking up various symptoms and diseases and stuff like that, and you end up thinking maybe you've got it, or worse yet now, my wife and I thinking our kid has got it. Actually, when we were going through baby classes, stuff like that, the doctor who did one of the classes said, in this group, because it was a fairly educated group that we were in, don't read anything. You probably know enough. The last thing, don't read any books. Don't read anything on the internet. You've got enough information. Yeah. There's too much stuff out there that's going to scare the hell out of you.
Interesting. And it turns out there's a particular personality type that tends to be more prone to hypochondria. And Dr. Wendy Rice, a licensed psychologist, joins us. Dr. Wendy, how are you?
It is great to be on the hottest show on the West Coast.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks very much. So who's going to be more freaked out? What sort of people?
The worriers, the more anxious people, the people who are so tuned into every little thing about their body, and they take one little thing and they're like, holy cow, I'm dying.
So hypochondriacs are more prone to hypochondria. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think I'm in that. I don't think I'm in that category, and my wife's certainly not. But our kid gets has got a something or other. It looks like it could be a bug bite or something, and then you go online and then it says something about, well, if you have this, and they also seem to have aches in their foot or something, they've got some heinous disease known mostly in Africa that's going to kill them within 3 hours.
Of the pit viper.
So you end up taking them to the.
So you don't live in Africa. So if you're a person who doesn't have this problem, you might be able to shoot a little bit of reality into that searching. Be like, okay, it looks like a bug bite. Let's treat it. Let's come back down to planet Earth and let's treat it as a bug bite.
The problem is everything you look up says flu-like symptoms. That's the first sign that you've got everything, really.
Right. So you're good if you don't have flu-like symptoms.
But what you're saying, if I'm correct, is that some people, get seriously, debilitatingly freaked out by this stuff.
Yeah, they get panicked. Because when you have an anxious brain, and if your anxiety comes out in the form of hypochondria, you know that there's a little tiny possibility that something bad could happen, but because you have an anxious brain, it blows it out of proportion. So instead of it being a very small likelihood in your mind, it's a giant likelihood.
An anxious brain. That's interesting.
Yeah. We know a lot about anxiety. We know a lot about the chemicals in the brain that promote it, and we know about the parts of the brain that are involved. And it's like a broken record. Oh my God, I'm worried, and you can't shut it off.
Man, that is one of the great all-time band names right there, Anxious Brain. That's actually a great band name.
That is a good band name. Dr. Wendy Rice is on the line. Is there more we should know about this phenomenon or advice for folks who have the anxious brain?
Yeah, if you have an anxious brain, one thing that can be really helpful is learning about anxiety, but don't go searching into a million places about anxiety, but basic information. So worry.com is a good place to sort of look at that.
Worry.com. Huh,
I wonder if these are the people that are making these sites worse, because you can go to so many different sites out there. You type in, my foot, my big toe hurts. Well, you type it in and you come up with a site, and then there's got some information on there, and then below that information is all the comments, and all the comments are always from people. My aunt had this and she was dead by 4:00 that afternoon. And I wonder if it's those anxious brains that are making all the comments.
Well, then I think that you're right on there. And if you're a person who's prone to this, you need to steer clear of most websites and certainly the comment section.
Yeah, the comment section is worthless.
They shouldn't have it unless you're like a physician or a licensed psychologist. They shouldn't have it, Dr. Wendy. It's funny, we walked in this morning, and we have rather a nice, newish, high-tech radio studio here at the Radio Ranch, but there was a terrible smell in it that we can't identify, and we got the following email. First, though, do you know much about narcissistic personality disorder?
A bit, yep.
We got a note that says, did you anger Vince? Vincent is our producer. He just walked in the room, as a matter of fact. And it says, one of the common features of narcissistic personality disorder is excrement smearing. The person with NPD gets angry at an entire house or group at work, whatever, and will smear his excrement in various places and otherwise forces everybody to experience his excrement one way or another.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
How often does this happen?
Usually not in anybody living in the outside world. Babies and toddlers might do that, and really children with serious problems do that. But most people who have a narcissistic personality are not smearing excrement because it's pretty uncivilized behavior. So
probably not Vince.
Okay, well, I thought it was important. I brought it up to eliminate it as a possibility.
I think you're good to go in that one.
Thank
I think
you.
It's unlikely that Vince is responsible for the smell.
Dr. Wendy Rice. Dr. Wendy, you're delightful. Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.